You walked past a bird today. It flew away. You probably didn't think much of it, but that bird made a decision about you before you even got close. It calculated your speed, your direction, whether you made eye contact, and it ran a threat assessment that took less than a second. It didn't guess, it knew. Most people assume animals just react to movement, or size, or noise, that they're basically living smoke detectors. Trigger a threshold, get a response. That's not quite right. The real answer is far stranger. Animals don't just notice you. They have built a model of what you are, and what you are to almost every animal on Earth is the most dangerous thing that has ever existed. Not metaphorically, scientifically. In 2019, researchers from the University of California ran an experiment in the Santa Cruz Mountains. They played sounds through hidden speakers to mountain lions, bobcats, deer, and smaller mammals. First, sounds of frogs, neutral, no reaction. Then, sounds of lions and wolves. Animals fled. Then, sounds of humans talking. The animals fled faster and stayed gone longer. The lead researcher, Justin Suraci, published the results in Ecology Letters. The conclusion was direct. Wild animals are more afraid of the human voice than the sound of apex predators. Not equally afraid, more afraid. Think about what that means. A mountain lion is at the top of its food chain. It has no natural predators. It fears nothing that evolved alongside it. But the sound of a human conversation sends it running like prey, because over thousands of years, that's exactly what happened. Humans didn't just hunt, humans eliminated. We didn't compete with apex predators. We replaced them. And the animals that survived were the ones that learned to treat us differently from anything else that had ever walked the earth. But it goes deeper than fear. Animals don't just react to you. They study you. Crows are the clearest example. In 2008, John Marsluff at the University of Washington ran a study where researchers wore rubber masks while trapping and banding crows on campus. The masks were specific, identifiable. After release, the crows began scolding anyone who wore that mask. Not people in general, not strangers. That specific face. They remembered it. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Over time, crows that had never been trapped, crows that weren't even alive during the original study, also began scolding the masked face. The knowledge transferred, parent to offspring, through behavior. The crows didn't just recognize a face. They built a cultural memory of a threat and passed it down like a warning. Elephants do something similar, but with more information than crows. Research by Karen McComb at the University of Sussex showed that elephants in Amboseli, Kenya could distinguish between two local groups purely by smell and the sound of their voices. One group, the Maasai, had a history of occasional conflict with elephants. The other, the Kamba, did not. When elephants heard a Maasai voice on a recording, they bunched together, went quiet, and moved downwind. When they heard the Kamba voice, almost no reaction. They weren't reacting to human. They were reacting to that specific group of humans, based on cultural information they had learned and stored over time. Now, think about what this adds up to. Animals aren't just sensing you. They are categorizing you, building a file, running a continuous background process that asks a single question. What kind of human is this, and what has that kind of human done before? The study that pulls all of this together came in 2018. Researchers from UC Berkeley and other institutions analyzed decades of data on animal behavior across multiple continents, published in Science. The finding was this: human presence alone, not hunting, not noise, not habitat destruction, just the presence of humans, caused animals to shift to nocturnal behavior. Animals that were naturally active during the day moved their entire activity window to night simply to avoid contact with humans. The effect was 3 times stronger than the presence of actual predators. 3 times. We didn't just change the landscape, we changed time. Animals restructured when they exist in the world because of us. And they did it without being taught, without any single traumatic event. They did it because the information accumulated across enough generations that it became the default setting. So what do animals think about you? It depends on the animal, but the pattern is consistent. They have assessed you, they have filed you, and the verdict for most species is that you are something that has no equivalent in the 500 million years of predator-prey relationships that shaped life on this planet. You are not a predator to them. Predators hunt to eat. Predators have limits: hunger, territory, season. Predators fit into the system. You don't. You alter the system. You change the rules. You show up and time itself shifts. The bird that flew away from you today wasn't being skittish. It was being accurate. It had run the calculation that its ancestors encoded into it over thousands of years of contact with humans. And the answer it got was the same answer almost every animal gets. Give this one space. Not because you're evil, Not because you're cruel, but because you are the only thing on Earth that every other living thing had to build a new category for. There was no template for us. We didn't fit predator, we didn't fit disaster, we didn't fit disease. We were something new. And the animals that are still here are the ones that figured that out before it was too late. That's what they think about you.